Hello everybody, my name is Hexen, giving you another Tribes Ascend video. This will not be a commentary of a strategy, but more of me just dialoguing with you guys. The video is edited, but my commentary will not be. This is just a straight, yeah, bad time to run out of the word I was going to use there. Just straight commentary. We'll just keep it as commentary. And I'm just going to be giving my thoughts on multiple different things. Mainly the patch that we got, the big June 27th patch, or 12th patch, or whenever it happened, that gave us 27 new weapons and tweaked a lot of previous balancing issues with the weapons that were already in the game. And the big topic right now that is in the forums I will also be giving my thoughts on, which was the bombshell that Hi-Rez dropped that they would not be supporting or devoting developing time to a demo feature, and this has ruffled some feathers in the competitive community. Rightfully so. I'm able to understand a lot of hate, but at the same time I feel like I can see all sides, so let's get into it. In the background I am playing the soldier with the spin fuser, proxy grenade, eagle pistol on the map Rain Dance. So the big thing right now, no demos. A demo, for those of you who are unaware, is sort of a replay for the game. You can go back and rewatch a game from multiple different points of view, not just your own. And with third-party software such as Fraps or MSI Afterburner, stuff like that, you can only watch it from your point of view, because it's only recording what you see on the screen. A replay or demo would grant the end user the ability to see the point of view of the flag runner for the entire game, or the point of view of the Hoth for the entire game. Very useful feature insofar as commentating and developing videos and content is concerned. Hi-Rez did initially say they were working towards a full release of this feature, and for them to come out and just say recently that no, it's going to cost too much of our development time and our time could better be spent elsewhere. Sort of a dick move, I agree. For them to say initially that they would support it and then to come out and say that no, we're not, that it was not a good idea, is somewhat of a bad move in my opinion. My overall opinion on the matter is that this is a misstep by Hi-Rez. This is a mistake. I think it will come back and bite them eventually. The opinion that I hold is that the larger the competitive scene, the larger the casual scene, the more eyes you're going to have on your product. The easier it is for the competitive scene to do what they need to do competitively, the more eyes that are going to be on the content that these people develop. And I can understand the frustration because people have put long, hard hours into this game, creating content, setting up streams, hosting small tournaments, stuff like that. And this demo feature, while not necessary, makes all of that so much easier, and it really says something about Tribe's roadmap, or Hi-Rez's roadmap of the game, when they don't consider this a priority. It just speaks to where their priorities sort of lie. If they want this to be a more public game, a larger casual game, then they're probably moving in the right direction. I personally don't think it's the correct direction, but hey, I'm no game developer, and I don't know better than Hi-Rez. I'll come right out and say it. You know, they're a small developer and they have to prioritize what they devote their developing time to. And if they think the game would be better off or more monetarily successful with more DLCs and skins and stuff of that nature, then that's what they're going to concentrate on. And they're going to eschew features like the demo function. With all that in mind, there is nothing that warrants the type of responses that Hi-Rez is getting in the forums, which is exactly why I don't visit the forums anymore, because I find them to be just the biggest place of... It's just like the biggest collaboration of tryhards and crybabies that I've seen. And there's, you might think, oh, forums, other people like the same game I do. No, it's like 90% bitch fest and 10% constructive feedback, and maybe a thread started here and there that's saying thank you for this awesome game. This is still a fantastic product, in my opinion. Without the demo function, this game will not fold in on itself. There's no way in hell this game will collapse. Not even the competitive scene will go away without the demo function. But there are certain teams that have already dropped off the competitive roster because of this, And the amount of hate that Hi-Rez has received over the announcement is just absurd. I mean, you'd think that Hi-Rez slaughters babies for a living with the sort of ad hominem attacks that they're getting. And that is why I don't visit the forums anymore. It's so negative all the time. There's rarely any positive input that comes out of the forums. You'll find one good idea out of 10, which is usually the ratio that I find, and it's just not worth it to me to sit there and read through all that negative griping, grousing, this sucks, you can't do shit type of bullshit, and then come back to the game and I'm having fun with it, and I'm just not as pissed off as all these people are when they write to Hi-Rez saying you fucking suck, you can't do anything right. Demo feature should be in the game regardless. If it's not, you're gonna fucking fail. You have failed at making a Tribes game. That's not gonna get anywhere, and nobody's gonna respond to that type of feedback. If you want to put something forward that's well thought out and intelligent and critically acceptable, then you're gonna get some response back. You're usually get more and a better response back with that kind of feedback than you would otherwise. If you put out intelligent, respectful feedback, that's the kind of feedback you're going to get in return. If you just say, yeah, Hi-Rez, you're the biggest dick and butt, you're such a penis, I can't believe you fucked up this game so hard, they're not going to respond. No one's going to look at that and be like, oh, this is some really thoughtful and provoking feedback we got here. I mean, this guy is calling us a big douche bag, and he called us a douche-in-bag instead of a douchebag. How provocative and innovative. We really need to pay attention to this guy. You're not going to get anywhere with that type of bullshit. So, overall, I can understand where the competitive community is coming from, but I'm also under the opinion that they need to seriously take the stick out of their butt and just keep playing for fun, because that's pretty much the reason why you started playing anyway. At least I would hope so. I'd hope you don't hate playing this game, but are just playing for the competitive nature of things. That would make no sense at all. But overall, lots of negativity in the forums. Lots of people just have too much to say when it comes to a game they've put no time into as far as developing and creating. I can understand people being frustrated after developing streams and putting out content like I myself am doing here, but at the end of the day, it's out of our hands. You do not have the ability to change the game, and Hi-Rez makes the final call. So you can either play and enjoy with what you have available, or you can shut the hell up, because complaining 24/7 and saying that Hi-Rez is bullshit and incompetent developers, it doesn't get you anywhere. You can say what you need to say and then move on. If you dwell on it, you're more of a butthole than anyone else, in my opinion. The other big thing I wanted to talk about was the patch, the large patch. I'm going to give my final impressions on the patch that we got, the July 12th or July 27th, somewhere around there. It was launched in July, I think later July. 27 new weapons, radical balance changes to the weapons that were already in place, and my macro analysis of this patch, while I liked all the new content it gave us, I think it was also a mistake to do so much. And a lot of companies fall into this trap where they say, okay, we're going to change this, and this, and then on top of that, we're also going to change 100 other things. So while, we can claim we're balancing the game, everything was touched. So there's no way of telling if the changes we made were the correct ones, because there's so much new content. It's like if somebody, let's say you were an inventor and you wanted to invent cherry Coke, okay? You're trying to get the taste of cherry Coke just right, and you have your cup of cherry Coke and you're drinking it a sip at a time and making small little adjustments to, the flavor, trying to get it just right, and somebody comes along and pours vanilla extract in your drink, a whole cup of water, and somebody else comes along and dumps a can of Pepsi in there, and then some other asshole comes along and spits in the drink, and then your mother comes along and says, oh, well, maybe some Dr. Pepper here, and pours a whole can of Dr. Pepper in there. You have no basis anymore. You have no grounding. You have nothing to compare what you have now to what you had previously, because everything is so muddled and fucked up. So while I liked all the new content that was given to us with the patch, it was just too much, and a lot of games do this. Battlefield 3 is another big example I can give you guys. because they at one point came out with this huge patch, changed all the small arm balance, changed tons of vehicle mechanics and how they handled and worked, changed the interaction between the tanks and the armor on the ground, with the infantry tweaking rockets and javelins in different ways to take down the vehicles, and it was just too much in one patch. So while you can claim, yeah, look what we're doing, we're balancing the game here, you're no closer to balancing the game post-patch than you were pre-patch, because there's all this new stuff, and you can't even get a bead on where you were previously because now all this new stuff is there. And that's where I think the 27 new weapons come into play. In my opinion, it would probably be better to have tweaked the initial weapons that we had and left all the new weapons out. You know, remove the gas rifle and the dueling spin fuser. All that crap could have been left out, in my opinion, and more time devoted to just concentrating on the weapons we already had. That's just how I feel about things. I mean, I have no idea. I'm not looking at data like Hi-Rez has in front of them. I don't have spreadsheet data. I don't have charts to see which weapons are being used the most, you know, which weapons are generating the most kills, etc., etc. So I don't know if it's more financially feasible to release everything in a large patch as opposed to releasing things one by one and, you know, spreading the changes out over time and just doing it minutely. That may not be financially the best way to support the game, but it would be the best way to balance the game, as far as I'm concerned, is to make small changes incrementally so you can see what's working and what's not immediately, instead of coming out with everything all at once and being totally in the dark once again. If you change too many things, then you lose bearing on what you had initially, and that's no good if you're trying to balance a game. That's not the correct way to balance a game or content in a game, in my opinion. That's just the way I feel about it. It was just too much, and I think the patch could have done better if it was a smaller amount but spread out over a longer period of time. So those are my thoughts for today, 7/11/2012. They might change as Hi-Rez may or may not say, hey, we're now developing this feature. Who knows? But those are my thoughts on the game as of right now, and that will do it up for the video. My name is Hexen. I'd like to thank you guys for watching today. Like I said, just more of a diatribe, me talking, not editing, not nailing down concrete ideas. But there you have it. Take care, guys. Have a good one.